So I've started writing a new book. New year, new book. It's very exciting because I haven't written much at all in like 5 years. I did technically start writing the book at the end of October. I wrote like one scene, and then 3 days later Dragon Age Veilguard came out. And that's just what I did for 5 weeks. And then it was the holidays, and I was like, okay, once I get back home, once it's the new year, I'm gonna start really working on my book. But unfortunately, over the holidays while I was visiting my family, it's really hard for me to say this, but my computer, my brand new 6-month-old computer, tragically passed away in her sleep. She's gone to the big Apple store in the sky. She's gone. So that puts a bit of a damper on things. I'm trying to really focus on gratitude. Fortunately, the computer was still functional enough. I was able to back up all my data. I've not always been so lucky. And fortunately, the computer's still within warranty, so the repairs and or replacement is free. I have not always been so lucky. Came back home and it's like, oh, I can't write because my computer with all of my Scrivener stuff on it is broken. And then we took it to the shop to get it fixed. And now the South is having a record-breaking snowstorm, and it's been a week, and the computer still hasn't shipped to the actual repair center, so I don't actually know how long it's going to be until I have my computer with my stuff on it. But I was talking to my dad, and he started working out recently, and I asked him how it was going, and he was like, oh, you know, snowstorm, and I was sick, and then your mom was sick, but I'm going to keep trying because this is something I really want to be a permanent lifestyle change. And I was like, well, you know, things don't actually work if it only works in perfect conditions. And I thought about that, and I was like, I do have a desktop computer. It's right here. It's like 15 years old. It's so slow, but it does technically have internet access, so I can use Google Docs. And my husband has a laptop that he doesn't take with him to school, so like technically I could use that. I have options. There's actually nothing stopping me from writing. So yesterday, I was sitting on the couch and my husband was practicing. He's in school for guitar. I put on an hour-long YouTube video and I opened up his computer. And I watched the video and I wrote a little bit, and I watched the video and I wrote a little bit, and I only wrote like 200 words. But that's so much more than I've done in absolutely ages. And I realized that that's how I always used to write. Ever since I was a kid and first started writing, I would just always have it open in front of me. And I'm like, when did I stop doing that? Like I said, I've barely written in 5 years. What happened? And then I realized in November of 2019, 5 years ago, I did the big November writing challenge, which we no longer support. There's a video about it on my channel. During that NaNoWriMo, I developed a system to write at a very high output. I wrote 5,000 words a day, 9 days in a row. I had this perfect little setup. I had my book playlist playing at my desk, my computer, my Scrivener file just the way I liked it, and I would only write during writing sprints, like 10 to 15 minutes. I wouldn't write outside of those designated sprint times. And it worked. I wrote 45,000 words in 9 days. Clearly this is a great system. The problem was I had gotten it into my head that I could only write with my perfect little setup. I could only write with a timer and music and everything just perfect. But things don't actually work if they only work in perfect circumstances. So because of these perfect circumstances I created for myself, this idea I built up in my head of if I want to write that much again, I have to do it like this, I haven't written in years. So with this mindset of things don't work if they only work in perfect circumstances, I have decided to write imperfectly. I know it sounds very silly, but man, habits are hard to break, especially when you think they're good habits. So I'm just gonna write a little bit, and then I'm probably gonna play Sims, and I'm not gonna put pressure on myself, and I'm just gonna enjoy it, and we're just gonna see what happens. So I wrote more than I did yesterday. I got 350 words today and only 230 yesterday. So I did more, and that's good. It's taken me an hour and a half, and I am completely exhausted. 350 words. And I was watching YouTube the whole time, and my brain is empty. So I think there's a certain amount of muscle that needs rebuilding. I've got almost 600 total in this document, which is good. All progress is good progress. And I'll just keep doing little by little, and eventually I'll have a book. Yeah. So this morning I checked the tracking information for my computer, and I hadn't checked it in a while because I was sad, but apparently it was actually delivered to the repair center yesterday, which is very exciting. It's very good news. I really needed a win. I know it's a small win because I still don't know how long it's going to take for it to get here, but at least something's actually being done about it now, and it's not just sitting in a shipping limbo. I have a cat on my lap, so that's exciting. I feel like that's kind of gonna propel me forward for a little while. And as for the writing today, sorry, my cat is very distracting. I was thinking, yesterday, my main goal was mostly just to write it all, and then the secondary goal was to write more than I did the previous day. In this new journey of trying to build a writing routine in the middle of my previous spectrum of only writing in perfect conditions and just having my computer in front of me all the time, I'm looking for somewhere in between. And I think today I'm just gonna write for a set amount of time instead of going for a word count. Because we have a real problem on author YouTube of like big word count, woo, splashy, YouTube thumbnail title. I find myself falling into that of like, oh, I didn't write enough because I only wrote 350 words yesterday. That's not very good, but it's actually fine. So I'm trying to find a different metric of productivity, and I think at least for today I'm going to try a designated time period because I have a lot of chores I need to do, and also I'm going to make bread later, and that's very exciting. So I might nip in and do a little bit more in between the chores, but I still want to have like my morning time. I do a chunk before I do my other things. So we're gonna try that today, and then I'm gonna make bread. Haha, very exciting. My hair looks so short. It's just in a ponytail, but it looks like I've chopped all of my hair off. Very silly. Today's a good day so far. I haven't written anything yet, but I do have my favorite coffee cup, so we're off to a great start. I think I'm gonna try the writing for a set time period thing again today. It didn't go super well yesterday, but that's because I got distracted and started writing a video instead of the book. So I only wrote 192 words, which is not what I'd like it to be. And I still feel bad for saying only. I only wrote so many words because I still am at a point right now where I just need to be writing every day to get in the habit and the amount doesn't matter as much, but it still feels bad. So I was talking to my husband about it because he gets it. You know, he's been playing guitar for longer than I've been writing. It's his job. And I was telling him it feels bad to spend hours writing only a couple hundred words when I know in the past I've done this crazy writing challenge and I would write for a 10-minute sprint and do 400 words. Perfect 40 words per minute typing, and I did that all day for 9 days. And even though I know that level of writing isn't sustainable or realistic for me, it still feels bad to not be operating at 100% all the time. And my husband was basically like, yeah, you just can't do that. He said any creative person can push themselves to the maximum for a week or a month, but you're not just writing for a week or a month. You're writing every month for decades. So it's important to find a realistic level of writing that you can operate at for the rest of your career. And it's like, yeah, still feels bad though. It feels especially bad right now because I'm so out of practice with the physical act of writing that I'm not meeting the same average that I used to, even without the crazy pushing myself levels. But I'm trying to be kind to myself, because I know I'm out of practice and that I will get back up to the same average levels eventually, and it might not even take that long. I think my problem these past couple days is I've forgotten to factor in the fact that I have ADHD. So the first day I was writing in complete silence for half an hour, and then I was like, oh yeah, my brain doesn't work like this, and I put on a YouTube video. And I think I need to be factoring in more breaks. That's one of the reasons that the writing sprints were really nice, was because I only had to focus for 10 minutes. And I think I will incorporate more sprints in the future. I just don't think that's what I need right now. But I think doing the half-hour chunks will probably be better. Kind of more of a Pomodoro type of deal instead of a free-for-all like I have been doing these past couple days. I don't know. We're learning. It's a process. We're building a healthy writing routine. That's what we're doing here. And to say hi. You're a very good cat, Wishy. You are so cute. Okay, back to writing. So I wrote for half an hour, and it went really well. I wrote 333 words, and I broke the 1,000-word mark in this document. Both very exciting things. I don't know how much is actually in the total draft, and I can't know that until I have my computer back, but I've been trying to think of this whole thing as like getting a head start on the real writing that I'll do once I have my computer, which might be silly, I don't know. So I wrote for half an hour, and then I went away and did chores and got food. Then I came back and I was gonna do another half hour, but it's Sunday, it's a weekend. I feel like half an hour is good. And I hit my 300 a day, so like, I can have a light day. It's a Sunday. So I've been working on other things, and I'm gonna do more chores. This is my life. Very glamorous. I like it better with root beer, but cream soda is what we have right now. Kitty cat. So I've already done my first half hour of the day. It was pretty good. I wrote 220 words. I feel good about that. I think there's a couple reasons why I've been doing better today and yesterday than I was the previous days. First of all, I'm getting more used to writing, and I think that's definitely helping. Second, I think it's much more manageable to decide I'm going to write for half an hour versus I'm going to write 300 words however long it takes. That feels kind of overwhelming to me, and saying I'm going to write for half hour, I'll go away and do other stuff, and then I'll write for another half hour. That just feels better, and so I'm being more productive. The third thing that's helping is that I did skip forward in the book just a tiny bit. I'm definitely a gardener when it comes to writing, so I know several things that happen and kind of have to fill in the in-between. So the part that I was writing was the first 2 setup chapters, and I wasn't really sure what was going on in those. Because honestly, you can't really have a solid introductory chapter until you know what you're foreshadowing. So I wrote enough of the intro that I have something to go off of when I revise it later, but I decided to skip forward a couple pages to chapter 3 where the inciting incident is, and I actually know what that is, so it's much easier to write. I have much more of a solid plan of what I'm doing from here on out, and I think it'll go overall much smoother, and then I'll figure out chapter 1 later. Yes. Oh, sweet boy. Oh. So I'm doing good. I feel good. I'm gonna get some food and come back. If this cat get off my lap. You have to move. Yeah. Ugh. What? I'm so excited that I just ate spinach. I haven't had spinach and eggs in like 5 years. I went through a phase in 2019 where that's what I had for breakfast every day for like a month or two, and I just haven't had it since then. But something about vlogging has like woken up the, oh yeah, I have free will part of my brain. So I was getting groceries yesterday and I was like, man, I have my own freezer. I cook my own food. I can get frozen spinach like I always used to. It was so good, and I'm just so happy that I ate that. I'm having such a good day. It's raining, I had spinach, the writing is going well, my chores are going well. It's just a good day. I don't know, I'm just like happy to be alive and eating food and doing things that I want to be doing. The only thing I haven't done today that I should probably do is read. I've realized in the past couple days that I've been writing, my reading has kind of fallen off a little bit. I have gotten some good audiobook time in while doing chores the past few days. I'm on the last book in the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I'm very excited to finish it because once I'm done with that, I'm going to start working my way through the Cosmere. One of my goals for this year was to read as much of the Cosmere as possible because I want to be a fantasy writer, and they're such staples of fantasy at this point, so I feel like that'll be good for me to read them. But I do need to get more eye reading time in, because even though reading audiobooks is totally valid for reading, I still think it's important as a writer to eye read some books so that you can really get a feel for how things look on the page. I just think it's important to do both for the sake of craft, you know? So I've had my little break, and I'm gonna get back to writing for half an hour, then I'm gonna do more chores and read. Very exciting. Everything's exciting. What a good day. So I didn't film yesterday, but I did write 600 words, and that's really good. I feel really good about that. I hit 2,000 words. Very exciting. It's especially good because I only wrote for 40 minutes, and that's kind of the point of what we're doing here. The point is I don't have to be perfect. It's okay if my routine gets disrupted as long as I still sit down and write at least a little bit at some point. And that's what we're doing again today, because as you might be able to tell, it's dark outside and I'm just now sitting down. I just did so many other things today, but it's okay. My routine does not have to be perfect. I'm just gonna squeeze in a little half hour before dinner, and it's fine because I just need to sit down and do it. The sitting down and doing it is the hard part, and as long as I keep doing that, I'm gonna be great. Would you like to join? Take your time, I'm not doing anything. So today is a very exciting day. First of all, I got my lamp, which means you can still see me even though it's dark outside, which is, you know, ideal for filming a YouTube video. Second of all, I wrote 650 words in only 40 minutes, so that's really great. I think I'm gonna keep switching up the exact amount of time I write for because my needs are different day to day. Third of all, I got a text. that my computer is fixed and it's being shipped. My computer has been unusable for a month and it's been gone for 2 weeks, so I'm pretty excited to have it back. It's been a week of me writing. It was kind of my goal for this week, and especially this video, to prove that I could still write, even with setbacks. And I feel like I've done that. While I haven't exactly written more and more each day, my average per day has definitely increased even in just a week, and I feel a lot more comfortable now with the idea of sitting down and writing, even if it's not the exact time I want to write and the exact circumstances. As long as I get in a little bit every day, I can do it, and I think I've proven that. Okay, bye. I also kind of wanted to see how much writing I could get done before I had my computer back, because once I have it back, I'm going to be distracted by like editing videos and all the other things I can do on a computer. So I really wanted to get a head start while I'm still in this strange time period where I can't do much else other than write. So now that I'm in the habit of it, I can keep going once I do have it back. And allegedly it's gonna be back tomorrow. So I feel like now that we're coming to the end of this my laptop is gone era, should also be the end of this particular video. I have done what I set out to do. It was a very productive week and I feel very good about it. But man, is it gonna be nice for it to be back. I can finally edit. I've been doing so much video stuff, now I can finally edit. I'm so excited. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you for supporting me through this difficult time where I was left without my precious computer. It wasn't that bad. It's fine. I'll put some stats up on the screen now so you can see how much I got done each day. And I know they're not terribly impressive word counts, but they're very, very good for me. And I'm very proud of myself because I decided to do it and I did it.